Hello everyone, this is JPL. Today I'm joined with...
Christopher!
Yes, and we're finally back.
Finally.
Finally back after almost a month.
Over a month.
Over a month of not doing a podcast.
So.
And there were reasons for that.
Namely because of me.
Yes.
The day after we recorded our last podcast, my throat started feeling a little itchy. Basically, it was March 2nd, I think. And I'm like, okay, well, it's just an itchy throat, It's not going to be too bad, So I went along my life. That same week I started intensive. Well, by the time Thursday hit, I was blowing my nose and coughing. And I basically, during that intensive, I started sitting at the back of the class. Just for safe measure. By the time Friday rolled around, I just started going online with all my classes except for my intensive. And I'm like, well, I should be over this soon. Nope, Saturday was terrible. Saturday was my worst day out of all of it. Sunday got a little better, but when Monday came around, I wasn't 100%. I went online for my classes. I asked my professor, hey, this is the deal. And she's like, well, if you got something, I don't want it. I'm like, fine with me.
Yeah.
So, that Saturday, though, I was planning to test, but I didn't because I was in the middle of intensive, right?
Yeah.
Which was 2 weeks, and if I had to quarantine, that would mess up the exam I'd have to take for it. And then shortly after that exam, in less than 2 weeks, I had a studio production to direct. So there was just no perfect time to test. So I never tested. But I was sick pretty much all of March. And so each week I got a little better. But basically just a little bit. And it wasn't until April 2nd where I thought, hey, wait a minute. I'm feeling almost back to normal. I don't say I'm 100% yet, but I'm doing so much better. Because last time we talked, I was basically coughing after every sentence. I don't think I've coughed since we've started talking today. So, which is a huge improvement.
Yeah.
But basically, I like to say, I quarantined on my own terms. I basically stayed in my room for most of the month. I did start going back to class, I'll say midway through the month, because I was just losing motivation, wasn't able to do my schoolwork, you know what I mean? So yeah. I knew getting back to class would be the only way. I just wanted to. Anyways, would be the only way for me to feel a little bit of motivation to do my schoolwork.
Sure.
So I was just sitting in back row, corner of the class, and then the last week of March or first week of April, I started feeling comfortable sitting among people again.
Yeah. For those of you wondering what's going on right now,
you turned on the car.
I turned on the car because it was getting hot, so.
His words, not mine.
Yeah, I was getting warm. The sun's directly on me.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, I'm just gonna
use up some gas.
Better than using up the battery.
Yeah. So you want to tell them what happened last time? Yeah,
because the last podcast that we did, I was charging the phone while we were recording the podcast. And that used up the battery because the motor wasn't running. And so when I tried to start the car, it wouldn't start. Which was ironic because we had just had a conversation about parking.
Oh yeah.
And going across campus, and I'm like, I don't want to take the bus across campus. It's there you go. I had to take the bus across campus.
Oh, did you?
I had to just to get to class.
Oh my god.
Luckily, when I came back, the car started again, so it just needed a little bit of time.
Did you get the battery checked later on?
No.
No,
because once the motor starts running, the battery
charges.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that just newer cars?
No, that's how it works.
Okay. I don't know. All I know is that I had to replace the battery in the last car I used, I think. Was it the last car? Might have been the car before that. Because when I worked at Domino's, I would have a habit of turning on the blinkers. And so when I came here to park, I would turn on the blinkers. I'd get out the car and forget to turn off the blinkers.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the battery drained as a result. And I had to go buy a new battery. So that was fun.
I had to take my car to the shop twice.
Yeah, so that was...
This past month.
Yeah, so what happened with that?
I had to get an oil change, for one.
I choked on water, okay? It's not a sick cough. I choked on water.
Yeah, I saw him do that.
Sorry. Proceed.
It was a good story. So yeah, I had to get an oil change. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, I had a light come on. Which was like, emergency light, something about emissions, I don't know. So I had to do that, which was last Monday.
Okay.
I was there all day.
Oh.
Waiting for them to fix it, and they fixed it, and she's good now.
What did you do? Like, did you bring anything to do?
I had my phone, and I was just watching stuff and listening to music.
Okay, at least you were watching.
And just waiting. So I was there for about 4 hours.
That's not all day, but that's still a long time.
Like, it was a long time for me. Like, that's all day for me. Because, like, I'm not in the mood. Like, if it's after 2 p.m. that I'm gone, it's like, okay, my day is practically over.
Yeah.
So I get home and I have to deal with a stupid dog that's in my house right now because my sister and reasons. But yeah, there's a dog. He just barks every 5 minutes.
Does he?
He does, and it's the most annoying thing. It's like whatever you do to try and to shut him up, he just barks. He barks because he's lonely, and because I don't want to spend time with him. And it's like,
Does he bark in the middle of the night?
No, I think he sleeps most of the night mainly. But it's like early in the morning, he will just wake me up barking because my sister went to go work and there's no one there to just keep him company. So he just barks. I have to go and just let him outside.
Yeah.
Just to shut him up.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I just hate it. I don't like that dog. I'm not a dog guy,
Yeah.
I like cats. They're quiet.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah. And so, on top of that, I take off my glasses and I just snap.
Snap?
Yeah, the frames of my glasses
Wait, when did this happen?
It was last Monday. It was all on Monday. And it was just like, it was a terrible Monday.
So what did you do?
Well,
obviously you got new glasses, I guess.
So I just taped my glasses together, went to the store, and just got new frames and replaced the...
So did it snap like at the car shop?
No. Like, I got home, was like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy, relax. I take off my glasses, snap. It's like, why today, Lord? Why today? It's like, it was
you
not...
had to go out that same day again. Oh.
And, I had to go, after I wanted nothing to do.
Yeah.
Even before this, I hadn't eaten for 24 hours.
Oh.
Because this was Easter break, and I was stuck at home. Because I couldn't drive anywhere because the manual because I couldn't because of the car. And so all I had to eat the entire time was hot dogs. And after 3-4 days, nothing but hot dogs, you kind of get tired of hot dogs.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to eat any hot dogs that day.
So basically...
So I'm sitting in the, waiting for the car to be fixed. I'm starving. After it's fixed, I go, I get food, I get home, and all I want to do is just eat, have peace and quiet. But no, the dog, every time I try and take a bite, it's like, bark, 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 bark. It's like, I go to him, I tell him to shut up, I give him some peanut butter, I go back up, take another bite, bark, 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 bark. I'm just like, please, let me eat in peace. Let me out of this. And then of course, my glasses break, and it's like, oh no. Yeah, so I skipped the next day of school because I
don't blame you.
I was not in the mood to finish my work for that day, so I just spent the next day doing my work instead of doing class.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. It was just not a good day last Monday.
What?
I just,
Oh, your drink is good.
Yes, just drinking.
So, because I was gonna ask, like, the food, but so you got it. So the glasses did snap while you were eating?
No.
Right after?
It was like after eating, after dealing with the dog.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit down, relax, take off my glasses. No.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, that wasn't your day.
Yeah.
At all. Like, everything about that day wasn't made for you to be convenient or happy. You just had to deal with stuff.
Yeah. So what did you do afterwards?
After what?
After getting your glasses framed?
I just went home and did nothing.
Did you just sit there?
I mean, me doing nothing means like I'm just laying down, sitting down, and watching stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's me doing nothing. That's what I do most of my time. But yeah, that wasn't fun.
Speaking of doing nothing, so I was sick for a month.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I didn't want to do anything, so I did nothing. AKA lay in bed, sit around, just scroll on the computer, watch stuff.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
What do you think I watched? Okay, so I think it was the last episode, if not the one before, I talked about a school assignment I had to do, where I had to watch stuff that I've never seen before and critique the editing, and one of the genres was action adventure, so I chose Iron Man.
Okay.
And I talked about how I just want to watch Iron Man, right? And then you were like, well, you have to watch, a couple movies before you get to Iron Man 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, technically, maybe just one. Yeah.
Well, I went ahead and watched
Iron Man 3?
No. The Captain America and Thor movies as well.
Oh, well, okay. You didn't have to do that, but yeah.
But I did. Because I'm like, why not?
Sure.
Because I felt like...
So you watched all the movies leading to Avengers?
Yeah.
And then Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, here's the thing. In Captain America, the First Avenger, there's a glorious character.
Okay.
Agent Peggy Carter.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And so I had to watch her TV show.
Oh my... Yes!
Yes!
Wow.
It's so good!
Yeah, for me, I liked her. I loved the first season.
Yeah.
The second one, I don't know what they were thinking.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it was weird. The plot, it was just weird black goo.
Well, okay, question.
Yeah?
So, let me just lay this out. Last Tuesday, I went ahead and finished it all up. I watched Guardians 1, Guardians 2, Infinity War, and Endgame all in one night.
But not the entire MCU.
Oh, I watched everything else.
You did?
Yes.
My gosh.
I did. I couldn't find Hulk, but everything else.
You couldn't find the Hulk?
No.
I guess, yeah, that would make sense.
Other than that, everything from Iron Man to Endgame I've seen.
Okay.
Yes. I did.
Do you want to see Hulk?
I wouldn't be against it.
Okay, because I have it.
Okay. So, I don't have a DVD player, so
I do. It
Right.
just have to be a thing where, like, you come over.
Time. That's the thing.
Yeah. Plus, we're seniors. We're senior.
Yeah. So, honestly, I don't know when specifically. But, yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be against seeing it. No. So, about the black goo.
Okay.
Remember the second Thor?
That's a different thing.
Is it?
Yes.
How and why?
See, the second thing was an Infinity Stone. Because in Thor, that was an Infinity Stone.
So you're saying that Jane basically swallowed an infinity?
No.
There was a power that
Yeah, so Jane pretty much swallowed an Infinity Stone.
Is that really?
Pretty much, yeah.
But she practically... It was
weird. That was not a good movie. But...
I'm not saying it was a good or bad movie. I'm just saying...
Yeah, I get what you mean. But no. That the black goo wasn't the same thing. Yeah, no, it's not the same thing. I think the black goo might have made a return in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Did you watch that?
I saw the pilot episode.
Okay.
It didn't really interest me enough. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like, I'll just watch it, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Because I wanted to get through the movies. Like after watching Iron Man 3, I'm like, I love Peggy Carter, I'm gonna watch Agent Carter, you know what I mean? And I watched all of that, and then I went back to the movies, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
But I don't have that draw for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it's gonna be one of these days when I just want to watch it, you know what I mean?
Did you watch the Spiderman movies?
I saw Homecoming. I haven't seen Far From Home yet.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just, again, just being a senior, me turning things in late.
It's shocking for you.
It is.
Because, like, you don't watch movies.
I don't.
But I'm proud, excited, disappointed that I wasn't there to watch you watch it.
So, again, like with Iron Man, like I said, the draw for me to watch the second Iron Man was the character of Tony Stark. I really like that character, and that's what kind of kept me watching. And then after watching the first Avenger and the first Thor, the idea of having the personal story of the character intrigued me a bit, because you got to just know who that person is.
Sure, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I didn't like the first Avengers movie.
Okay.
But I think part of it was just after watching movies that developed character, that movie didn't do that. While you had characters acting as a result of their character, they weren't necessarily developing their character. You know what I mean?
No, not really. No, I get what you mean, but yeah.
So I think that was the reason why I didn't enjoy that movie.
Gotcha.
And then I didn't enjoy Iron Man 3 that much. I don't think that story was strong. So I think those are like among my least two favorites.
Yeah.
But so like even what a movie that a lot of people didn't like, Captain Marvel, I really enjoyed.
Okay.
That's her name, Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought I got it wrong for a moment. I enjoyed because I thought it did a good job at telling her story, and the way it left an emotional impact, like on me, despite me I have my issues with the movie, I do, and the emotional impact and such. But I'm just saying, like, I enjoyed that type of story of, developing the character. You know what I mean? So, I think that was, while it's always hard, like, watching a new movie for me. For me, it's not just movies, it's music too. It just gets me, it's hard to get into something new.
Sure.
So there was that with pretty much every movie, I'm not gonna lie, where it's like, it's something new. Like, it's a new character, yeah. I'm not sure how I'm gonna...
So you broaden your horizons.
Just with Marvel.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Which is a big step for me. And I'm not... And this is not like me saying, oh my gosh, I love movies now. I'm not necessarily saying that. But am I intrigued with Marvel in general? Or at least MCU? Yes.
Okay.
So, that's that spiel. I do have unless you have something to say, I have a question.
Okay.
You have nothing to say.
Question.
Okay. What's your thoughts on Phase 4? Now that I understand
Phase 4,
Yeah.
I don't really have much thoughts. Like, honestly, after Endgame, like, I'm kind of just out of it.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
You know, I'm still watching the Disney Plus TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
but besides that, I'm not all that interested.
So you weren't that crazy about WandaVision?
No, I did. I liked WandaVision.
Okay.
But I don't really care about the future movies that come out because
Okay.
I feel like Endgame was where the story was leading to,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just a fine conclusion and a good enough ending for me with this series.
So are you interested in Black Widow?
No, not really.
And then I heard that the second Doctor Strange is
The second Doctor Strange is somewhat continuing the
WandaVision.
which I probably will watch that. Depending, it really depends on the trailer. If I'm at all intrigued by what I see,
Okay.
maybe I'll check it out.
And Guardians 3.
Probably, because I like Guardians. I do. I'm just interested to see what they do.
Well, I'm interested to see
Depending
how
on the
they're
trailer,
gonna
of course.
touch the on the Gamora thing.
If they even touch it.
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Okay.
Like, why would you not? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because what I wonder is, I'm not trying to stretch things, but basically the issue with Endgame is the fact of Loki and Gamora escaping, basically.
Yeah, and so Loki has
His show coming.
Yeah.
So will that impact Guardians 3 or not? Probably not.
The Loki thing, probably not.
But the idea of taking care of someone who's out of their timeline. You know what I mean?
But I think Gamora returned to her timeline.
From
they never explained it, but she wasn't in the final shot.
From what I was reading online, she is in the present timeline.
Okay.
So she did not disappear in the end, nor did she go back to... Because here's the thing, like if from what I'm understanding, you know, she didn't die from the snap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That snap. But there was nothing that propelled them to go back to 2014, her timeline, because, you know, all of those people were gone. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, ideally, I think I didn't watch the deleted scene, but I think there is a scene of her in the deleted scenes of her basically leaving the premise.
Okay.
So, I think I read about that. But basically, as far as I understand, she's still alive in the present timeline.
Yeah, for me, one new thing that I got into
Okay.
is Naruto.
Continue.
So Naruto.
Huh?
Naruto. Yeah.
Keep talking.
So it's an anime from a while ago. It's one of those like popular kids animes.
Okay.
Well, animes that they show to kids. And so Naruto is ninjas.
Okay. Like,
think
it is its own thing. Okay, so it's...
Yes.
Okay.
Like, you know Dragon Ball. Like,
I've heard of it.
Okay. So, imagine Dragon Ball was a big 90s thing.
Okay.
Naruto was like the 2000s.
Okay.
Like early 2000s, like that's what all the kids were watching back then. Like even in Paraguay, like Naruto was very popular. And so for me, like I had known about this thing for years. I had friends that talk about it, like explain things to me. I didn't really care about it that much. But I just finally got into it.
And you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Like,
So how many seasons are there? It's a TV show, right?
it's an anime TV show. They don't really run in seasons. It's
Okay.
like,
Just episodes.
yes.
Okay. How many episodes are there?
200.
Okay. And where are you?
I mean, so 200 in the first show, because there are more shows.
I guess that makes sense.
So, but however, like half of that show is just filler, and so I'm skipping the filler and watching the main story.
Okay.
And so there's about 100 episodes of just main stories.
Okay.
I've seen that. So right now I'm on Naruto, the sequel series, Shippuden, which continues the main story, and I'm on episode about 60.
Out of...
Like a lot. There's a lot.
Uh-huh.
There's just a lot.
But you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it, yes.
So, I guess that thing is what Marvel is to me right now.
Not really, but sure.
What do you mean, not really? Because these are both things we've heard about for a while and
Sure.
finally decided to check out.
Yeah,
Does the comparisons end there?
pretty much.
Okay.
I'm not in love with the show,
Okay.
but I just...
Just watching it.
Yeah.
How long are the episodes? Like 20 minutes, 40 minutes?
20 minutes.
20? Okay, that's not too bad.
Not too bad. But the thing about, like, anime in the early 2000s is they drag out things for so long. Like, there's this one fight scene that lasts, like, 5 episodes.
One fight scene.
Just one fight scene. And it's like, how it happens is, like, you have an episode where it's, like, the characters are staring at each other intensely, and you have their internal monologues about how they're going to approach it. And then the episode ends with them, it's like, I'm going to attack now! And that ends with that, like, first strike.
Yeah.
And then you have the second episode, which repeats the entire monologue for, like, the first half of the episode. Then, the second half you get to see some action till, like, gets you to a standstill. And, like, they're just holding on to each other or something, or something, or they reveal new power. It's like, aha, my new ultimate power. End of episodes. You go on to the next episode, and that's where they start a different story taking place at the same time of that fight, that you're going to be following them for half an episode. And then you return to the fight where they continue. Then finally they're, like, at a point where, like, they're both equal and, like, they're holding each other or something, and then they end the episode there. And so that's where you focus for the next few episodes on the other plot, and they only come back to that fight for about 10 seconds each episode. And they almost say the exact same thing. It's like, oh, he's holding me, I can't hold on for longer. Goes back to the other stuff. Next episode happens the same thing. It's like, oh, he's holding me, I'm gonna die if this thing keeps happening. And so, like, they keep saying the exact same thing differently each episode, until finally, after, like, 5 episodes, at the end of the 5th episode, something happens and the thing's over.
So this happens often.
It happens often with fight scenes. Like, they will drag it out, and that's why there's just so many episodes, because a lot of it's just, like, internal monologue and, like, I'm not doing well in this battle. He doesn't know my full potential. Maybe it's time for me to have my secret thing come out. Stares for about 2 minutes.
So are these English dubs? Or...
Yes, they're English dubs.
Okay.
Man, 90s and 2000s anime is just a completely different thing. Just a lot of time that's just wasted for something to happen.
So would you say present day anime is better or not?
It's much faster, you
Okay.
don't have
Filler.
like episodes of just intense staring
Yeah.
and nothing happening. Like, they're definitely much faster in how they do the work.
That makes sense.
And part of it was, like, in the early 2000s, like, the studios releasing the dubs were just figuring out how to, do it. And so, like, I don't know. things just happen.
How was... I saw your tweet, but I still want to hear your thoughts. Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, yes. So we had Kong versus Godzilla and the Snyder cut.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Two things that came out this
first Kong, did you watch it in theaters or not?
I did, yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, because the normal movie theaters isn't doing well. Mm-hmm. And it's like they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And so our dollar theater is actually presenting new movies for like the cheap prices.
Okay.
So I went there with my mom. I watched it and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But yeah, like everything I said in the tweet is like exactly everything about the movie. Like all the cool action stuff with Kong Godzilla is great. Mm-hmm. Everything else about the movie, about the people and their story sucks. Mm-hmm. And that's what brings the movie down.
Mm. So how long were the action scenes, basically?
I don't know. About like a good length. You know, about...
True.
3-4 minutes each.
What do you mean 3? Like it like alternates? In between like the people's story.
I mean there's like different action scenes through the movie, so but they last a good while.
Okay. So I figured maybe the last 30 minutes is like the two fighting. I don't know. That's a long time though. That'd be a
lot of money. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
Okay. And Snyder, how's that?
I was surprised how much I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a much better film than what we got all those years ago.
I heard that if you probably speed up the slow motion parts, it'd probably be the same length of the original. It's a joke.
I mean, you could do that, but that would just be wasting the artistic value of the slow motion.
Well, just from what I've heard, there was just a lot of slow motion in there.
Yeah, but there was a reason for those slow motions.
Okay.
For the most part.
Okay. So you enjoyed it?
I did.
Good.
Like all 4 hours.
All 4 hours.
Yes, I enjoyed it. I've seen it 3 times.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, because I did a podcast on it. So
okay.
3 times. That's a lot.
Worth it each time?
I mean, by the 3rd time I was really tired of it, but yeah. I enjoyed it.
Good. Glad you did. Mm-hmm. So, now with those movies out of the way, what are you excited for?
Nothing. Honestly, like, what I was excited for this year in movies, that was it.
Okay.
It's out.
Nothing even something you're remotely excited about?
Movie-wise, no.
No. TV show-wise?
Yeah. Sure.
What?
I don't know, some Star Wars stuff.
Okay. Oh, wait, when are they going to release one this year?
We got an animated one in May next month.
Is that the thing that they're supposed to like recap or something?
No.
No, is that a news story?
Yes.
Okay.
And then...
Oh, wait, is that the follow-up? Or is that next year?
It's the follow-up to Clone Wars.
It is the follow-up?
Yes.
This year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was next year. Okay, got it. Mm-hmm. You're excited about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in December, a new show.
Mm-hmm. Which would you say you like better, Star Wars or Marvel?
Star Wars.
Okay. Are you happy or disappointed in my decision to choose Marvel over Star Wars? You could care less.
I mean, honestly, you're an interesting person. So, like,
so
honestly, it doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
At all.
Well, I guess my main thought was if everyone hates the last 3 movies, what's the point? That was kind of my thought process.
I get what you mean, but it's like if you just forget the last 3 movies, it doesn't neglect everything that came before. Even though it kind of does when you watch the last 3 movies, they do neglect everything that came before. Oh. But yeah, it's too bad.
I'm not saying never, but not right now.
It would take some time, yes.
It would take time. Plus, I'm like, also with Marvel, like, I want to one day rank the movies,
Oh my gosh.
which would be hard. Yeah.
I mean, not really. I could probably do it.
Well, I can't right now.
I mean, because like
I'm too busy with school.
I've watched them all
Yeah.
several times. So
Yeah. That makes sense.
I can probably do that.
Also, I want a third season with Eden Carter. I know that's probably not going to happen, but I want it so bad.
Sure. Yeah. I think.
I just want, like, the fact that you start a new or, you know, the idea of a new storyline at the end of season 2, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That there has to be something where you know, you conclude that.
Yeah.
And
so they have the Jarvis actor in Endgame.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like I was so surprised because like at that point, the TV shows were not canon to the movies.
Well, it wasn't that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like, honestly, no, it's TV shows in general are not canon to the movies.
But...
Except now Agent Carter is accepted.
Right.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. still up in the air. It's because the TV studio is run by a different person who is honestly not a good person and just hates the movies.
But then also I heard like the an aspect of WandaVision kind of ruined Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, not so ruined, but it's gonna bring into question how. Because, yeah.
I guess I mean I know, but I don't know. Because I haven't seen WandaVision yet, so I don't know the impact.
I don't know if you would enjoy it.
I'm still going to watch it.
Sure.
I don't know when, but I am going to watch it. I don't care if I'm going to enjoy it or not.
But it's like, it's one of those things where WandaVision is based off of, inspired by the old sitcoms. And you wouldn't really know what they're referencing.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to watch it. I don't know when.
Yeah,
well, I will watch it.
I mean, there's something more.
What do you mean something more?
There's like this more thing with WandaVision that...
Like what she becomes?
No, more like things that happen in WandaVision, which you should probably watch something else too.
What's this something else?
I mean, spoilers. Spoilers. Do you care about spoilers?
What? Okay, question. Are you saying I should watch something within the Marvel universe or just something in general?
Watch something that's not in the MCU, but it's like a Marvel-related thing.
I'm a little confused. Is this like old?
Like, so, you know, because, you know, Fox and Disney, before Disney bought Fox, Fox had their own Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
that
like
was
X-Men?
Yeah, like X-Men. So pretty much like there's an X-Men thing that's related to...
Oh, I'm somewhat aware of it.
I mean, I'm sure you're aware of it, but it's like...
Aware of it in WandaVision, but I don't understand, like, I understand, like, the same actor or something, but I don't...
Yeah, I mean, WandaVision pretty much... I don't want to say it.
But how important is it to WandaVision? Because honestly, from what I was seeing online, people were disappointed with the overall turnout.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Because how they introduced it was like, oh my gosh, this is big, and it just ended up being something terrible.
Oh, really?
Because it's like... You have this thing, and the implications are like, oh my gosh, like, could they finally be doing this? Are they doing this type of thing? It's like, oh no, it's just a butt of a joke. And it's just not even that good of a joke. And it's just so disappointing. It's just wasted potential.
So one thing with, like, when I chose action adventure, reason why both Marvel and Star Wars were on the platter for me was the fact that I knew most other action adventure stuff can get unnecessary, well, bloody.
Bloody, yeah.
Basically. And
Sure,
I knew, like, I don't know if I told you this, but basically, like, I had seen most of Captain America Civil War on the way to America from South Korea because someone in front of me was watching it. So I basically saw 3/4 of it. So it was so strange, bro. Watching it with sound in context. You know what I mean? Because I basically remembered a lot of it, but the most interesting scene though for me was near the beginning when Tony Stark was giving his little presentation, and like that was something I did not remember prior to watching the movie, but I remembered as I was watching it. So strange. So that movie was so strange to watch for me.
Gotcha.
But basically, I had kind of known partially from that, but also I knew Star Wars was somewhat similar. That, you know, it's basically just action. Nothing necessarily visually disturbing. Right?
Visually disturbing?
Gory, bloody.
No, it's not really gory or bloody.
Right. So, X-Men, is that the case or not?
Depends on what you watch. Because it's not really consistent in the gore and blood.
Interesting.
Because the blood aspect mainly comes with the character of Wolverine, who fights with claws and they're like knives, so you get stabby, some blood there and there. And because he's like a healer, he heals himself. Like, they'll have situations where it's like he's gonna be like ripped to shreds, and like there's some blood there, but then he heals himself. Really, where it gets really gory is in his final movie, Logan, where they're like,
isn't that one rated R?
Yeah, so that's where like they're going all out in the gore and stuff, which they did go all out in that department. Yeah.
So, are you expecting right now for the MCU to redo the X-Men or to incorporate them?
They're likely going to redo it. Like, given how the thing turned out, they're probably just going to redo it.
Okay. Would you be interested in them redoing it?
I mean, sure, I'd be interested in seeing, depending on the trailer.
Yeah. It really depends on the trailer, huh?
Honestly, yeah. Like, if I'm intrigued enough by the trailer, I'll probably see it. But right now,
yeah,
I don't really care.
How's the Falcon and Winter Soldier so far?
I've seen like the first two. I think it's gonna be a better experience if you watch the whole thing.
That makes sense.
Because like weekly, I'm not captivated as much as WandaVision.
Yeah, I'm somewhat wondering, like, with these shows in general. The only issue is the fact that people talk about it everywhere.
So like WandaVision had an interesting enough style that got me watching every week. Well, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm not interested every week. I have to. I'm waiting until it's over.
With Agent Carter, did you watch it as it aired or
I
afterwards?
did. Yes.
You did.
Yeah, I was one of those people. It's like, I remember when it was announced and I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's like sending me and my mom can watch together now.
Yeah.
So I watched it as it aired.
Aww. So how hard was that? Like, because like me, I basically watched like the last, I don't know, was it 6 episodes straight through? Like that's how like good the cliffhangers were for me.
Sure, yeah.
Like, how hard was it for you? Like,
honestly, like with the second season, I don't think that the weekly thing helped it. I think that it like detract from like the story, because like me, I wasn't really a big fan of how season 2 was done.
So do you think it would have been better as a binge than a weekly show?
I don't know. I haven't watched it since.
Oh, okay.
So I can't say.
Okay. Because as a binge, I binged like the last like 6 episodes. So.
I mean, it was a shorter season, wasn't it?
No, it was a longer season.
Oh, okay.
First season was 8, second season was 10.
Okay. Oh yeah, they're short shows. But yeah, usually for me, I like the first season because that's like really where they understand where they want to go, and by the second season, they make up something.
I mostly enjoyed it. I just didn't necessarily like the second love interest.
I didn't really care about the villain of the second season.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Like, that's really where it came down for me. It's like, oh, this is an actress with evil goo. Whatever. I cared more about the spooky lady, the secret agent lady.
The Russian girl?
Yeah, the Russian girl. The Black Widow type.
Yeah. I forget her name.
It's not Dottie.
No, it was Dottie.
It was Dottie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dottie Underwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was good times. That was so long ago. Like, that was almost 7 years ago since it first came out.
Was it?
Yeah. Because it's like, we had the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and by the end of that season, I think, they teased Agent Carter.
So, also, did you enjoy Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Did you watch all of it?
Except for the final season.
Okay.
I'm going to, eventually. It's just, like, the more I watch the show, the more I feel how detached it is from the MCU. And just how detached it is from its initial concept.
Yeah.
Which, thank you, with Winter Soldier, for ruining that show.
Oh, it did?
Because you know what happens in that movie.
Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Hydra?
Yeah. So, like, Hydra happens, and they get rid of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And
but basically, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is an underground S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
So that happens at the end of the first seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And so, like, that plot twist was amazing in that show, but it's also like, wait, so now your show concept is
ruined.
And they try to build it up again, but it's not the same, and it doesn't really have any much implication into the movies as it used to.
Did it tie into Ultron?
No. Like,
no,
because, like, they kind of, well, yes and no.
Because I thought, like, the last scene when, like, Fury came with the ship or something. And, like, he's like, I pulled a few strings or something.
Yes, the ship does appear in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's not really... It's not really too connected.
Okay. Gotcha. Interesting.
So, like, in the first season, like, S.H.I.E.L.D. would directly be on the scene at the aftermath of, like, the movies. After that, it was just, like, a mention. It's like, oh, this thing happened. Okay. Move on to our own story.
I did hear that the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does have a tie-in with Agent Carter.
It does.
Okay, so
I know that much. Okay. I'm aware of that much.
Okay. Because that enough would be a draw for me.
Because... sorry. Yeah, because... Sorry about that.
You're good.
I had a straw in my mouth. But because... Honestly, the last season does everything that just shows that they have no idea what to do anymore.
Okay. Did you, like, start it and come to that conclusion?
I watched the first episode.
And
it wasn't that interesting. I'm sure it's interesting more once we get to do the actual characters. But yeah, time travel. When your movie series or show series uses time travel, that means that they've run out of ideas.
So you could argue that for Endgame.
You could. You could argue that.
Do you want to expound that for Endgame?
Except Endgame, I think, had a much better establishment of it. Except they didn't do what we thought they would. Instead of doing a time stone, they just made up their own. Which is where... Yeah.
Well, but... Thanos did destroy all the stones.
I know. But it's like... This was like the theory that people thought before Endgame. It's like... using the time stone makes sense. It's like, oh no, we're just going to make up our own things. Like, oh, okay, that works too.
I guess that makes sense. And plus, you can't recreate it, so.
There's one other thing I thought. Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that thing. You lost my train of thought on something.
We were talking about time travel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter.
There's something else I wanted to talk about.
Losing your mind, losing your...
Oh my gosh, yes. Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, I saw the photo on the Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm like, that actually just looks like cosplay.
It does. It does.
And I'm actually surprised that they're even dressed like that.
I know. I know. Because, like, I saw that photo with him in costume. I was like, huh. Like, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
I just, no.
I legit thought they wouldn't even be in costume like that. You know what I mean?
I know.
Because I thought they were trying to run away from their past.
Here's the thing. What I'm thinking is that costume bit is just going to be like a really short segment.
It's going
to be just a short segment of like their past. And then they're just going to turn into their normal thing.
It better be, but at the same time, still, because I remember like one year some friends posted like a Halloween picture of them. That it literally looks like the same thing.
I know. The costumes don't look good. They don't. It's like, wow, really? That's the budget we're going with. But they announced the cast of the show. And so they we had the 3 actors.
What do you think?
Oof, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, one of them is a main character from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is surprising.
Was it Dove Cameron? Or someone else?
Chloe Bennett.
Okay.
But yeah, the photo of Buttercup with that shaggy hair, it's like, that's not no.
I mean, I don't know who Buttercup is.
She's the green one.
And I don't...
You don't remember? Okay.
But it's okay.
Okay. But they also, like, announced, like, actors for different things. Like, their father figure is a black man now. Which is, like, interesting. But it's also the actor that they chose for him.
Oh, okay.
That's like, really, this guy? This guy? This guy? I don't know. I'm scared for that choice. Because that guy is a bit more, I don't know, different than what I expect the Professor to be. And of course, they have their Mojo Jojo type villain. Yeah. Which I'm really scared because they announced this young actor.
A young actor?
This really young actor.
Okay.
To be the son of the monkey villain. And, like, I'm just so scared because, like, what? And so there's all these jokes. It's like, oh, great, we're going to have a romance between the son and one of the girls.
That'd be weird. Which I see it happening, though.
It's CW. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, which I'm not looking forward to.
Watch there be some sort of plot twist that they're not even sisters in the first place. So then you can include a lesbian couple. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
just throwing that out there.
They're grown in a lab.
Yeah. How are you also going to approach that for this?
Here's the thing. There's going to be a lesbian couple.
Yeah.
Like, that's a guarantee.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be surprised if there wouldn't be. I'll be honest, like, this show is almost intriguing enough for me to want to watch the first episode. You know what I mean?
It's like, here's the thing. Yeah, we're gonna watch the first episode again. Yeah. But it's like...
Well, it depends when it releases and if I'm still around. But I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's another thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not looking forward to this thing, but it's like...
It's like, how bad are they gonna mess this up?
I mean, we're going to have a trailer.
Oh, when?
I don't know. But it's like, we're going to have a trailer.
True.
And it's like, I'm scared to even think about what we're going to see in the trailer. Because, oh no.
It better not be in costume the whole...
Oh.
That would make it terrible.
No. Like, if they're in costume, it's like, fine, I'll accept that.
Really?
Here's the thing. Because, like, at least if they're in costume...
It's a terrible costume.
I know, but at least they're trying to be closer to the source material. Which I prefer over them just making it bland. Just normal costume stuff. I prefer the ugly sack than your leather jackets and whatever.
Think about this. In
Jeans.
10 years, we're going to look back at the fashion today and think it was crap.
It is crap. Like, I'm looking at it today, I'm thinking, this is crap.
But then, so you think you're perfect?
No.
No? Okay.
Because
What's perfect?
I'm not perfect because...
Okay.
Well, technically, yes, I am perfect.
Okay, good. Okay. Am I decent?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good.
We are two decent men.
We're two decent men. Okay. So are you excited about the What If series?
No, not really.
Okay. The only reason why I'm moderately interested is that the first episode is of Peggy Carter. So
Sure, no, I get that, but for me, I'm disappointed because it's like they announced the concept and it's like, oh, that's interesting. Then they announced it's an animated show and it's like, oh, okay, that's less interesting for me. Then I think they had a little trailer with some animation and I'm less interested in the animation.
Yeah, honestly, I do agree. The fact that it's animated is less of a draw.
And don't get me wrong, I like animation, but it's like...
But at the same time...
If it's good animation, then I'm like, okay, that's good. At the same time, I'm less to think that this has any relevance in the MCU.
Well, it really doesn't in the first place.
No.
Yeah. It's literally just a what-if show.
Sure, yeah.
Live action or not. Which almost made me wonder why, and I was looking into it, and it's just for fun, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, if you want to have fun, and you're going to have Peggy Carter in the very first episode, I'll at least take the first episode.
Sure, yeah.
Have you watched, like, other Marvel shows?
I mean, yeah, there's the Netflix shows.
Yeah, what do you think of those? Because I heard, like, some of them are in the Logan territory.
Oh, they definitely are in the Logan territory.
Like, namely Punisher. That's what I heard.
Yep, Punisher. That's one. Honestly, I like him.
Okay. There's
some I don't like. But like the main ones, like Daredevil. He's fantastic. I love it. They all got their blood and stuff. But yeah, Daredevil is the main one that's consistently good in my opinion.
Okay. What did you think of Jessica Jones? Because that one was... The concept seemed interesting to me.
I liked the first season, but after that, I just didn't think it really stood up.
How many seasons did it have?
3.
They had a show called Defenders or something?
Yeah, so like Defenders was like the Avengers for the Netflix shows. Because you also had like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, which I didn't really care for those shows.
Okay.
But Defenders, yeah, it was a thing.
Okay. What did you think about the other shows?
Meaning what?
Like Cloak and Dagger.
I'm not at all interested in those shows.
I saw that there's supposed to be another animated show that's supposed to be on Hulu. Like, I think next month or something.
Okay.
That animation's crappy.
Yeah, like, when it comes to Marvel and animation, they're not that great. In recent years especially, they haven't been doing that well with animation.
Gotcha. Just whatever I saw for that thing just didn't look cool at all.
I mean, DC also is struggling with animation, but at least they have better stories, I think. Even then, that's a stretch. But they have better designs. What else should we talk about?
Yeah, I'm like, it's almost like I could keep talking-ish, but at the same time, I was thinking like, well, we've talked about this for like 30 minutes at least. How's school coming along for you?
I mean, I'm dying right now.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm behind on everything. Just plays just really screw you. Because it's like...
How many plays this semester?
I mean, the normal 4.
4.
But it's like, you work on one alone. And that, like I did. And, like, I don't have time to work on assignments while I'm on that show. So everything's pushed back and everything's delayed.
Yeah.
Because, like, as soon as I have to finish one thing, there's another thing to do that same night, and I can't do the other thing because I'm finishing this thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that pushes everything back. So everything right now is delayed. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So tonight, I got stuff to do.
I have this paper that I need to work on that this Wednesday will be 2 weeks late.
Okay.
So I want to turn in by then, but I barely have to. I barely started the second page, and I need at least 5 pages.
Gotcha.
Not fun at all. I'm so dead. Like, it's almost to the point where I just don't want to do any of the assignments. You know what I mean? I think in the end with that paper, if I even come up with 4, I'm probably just going to submit it as is. But I don't know, man. I'm just done.
No, I get you.
Last semester,
honestly, I'm done with this semester as well. Like, I just want to be done with this semester.
Just be glad you weren't sick. I'll just say that.
I mean, I'll be glad. Here's the thing. I'm glad that I'm not sick.
Yeah.
I'm also glad this is not my last semester, because this would be a terrible way to end my time here. Just, I want to be done. I want to be done already.
Yeah.
I want to move on to other things.
How many years you said? 2 years?
I got 2 more years left.
God.
I mean, that's not a big thing, because
but
at least, like, for the next 2 years, I'll be working on my 2 minors, which are different than theater.
Yeah. I mean, you have some good reasons for what you're doing, why you're doing. Are you still going to do shows during that time or not? Or less?
I mean, yeah, I'll probably still do shows.
Like 4 or like 2?
I mean, theater... Here's the thing. I only do, like, 1 show a semester.
What do you mean 4 shows, then? When we were talking earlier.
Liberty puts on 4 shows a semester.
But you only do 1 show?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's what I mean by that.
Okay.
I'm not actually doing 4 shows a semester.
Okay.
That would kill me.
I bet it would.
I wouldn't do anything.
I don't know how CJ memorizes lines for like 2 shows a semester.
CJ.
How do you freaking do that?
It's... You know, honestly, memorization isn't the hard part.
I mean, I bet it isn't, but it's still effort you have to put in.
It's easy.
At the sacrifice of your other assignments.
It's the easiest part of the job.
Is it?
Yes.
Dang. I mean, like...
Despite what you high schoolers believe, it's the easiest part of the job.
Because I know there is an aspect that as you practice, you basically bounce off the other people.
Sure.
I kind of get that. Even just from, like, doing VBS. Like, it came to a point when I just knew how the scene was that I was able to remember lines based on the situation.
Yeah.
But it still is effort to get to that point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. Yeah, so hopefully we can do this. We can continue with the podcast
I hope so,
for
too.
the rest of the school year,
Yeah, me too.
which is only like a month left.
I'm not even thinking about that. I was stuck in my room for a month. Time is irrelevant at this point.
I know, but still, it's like There's a month left. A lot of work left to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, all due.
Honestly, if I didn't have these papers, I wouldn't be this stressed.
And they're all large projects, too.
Yeah.
Like, everything left to do is just these large 200-point projects. That's like, oh, great, you waited till the last minute to do that. Thank you, class. It's, yeah. Yeah, it's yeah.
I'm exhausted. It's so hard to concentrate on this stuff as well.
At least next semester is different, I think.
I don't have a next semester, which I'm thankful for.
So, yeah, I'm gonna finish off my gen eds.
Nice.
So,
Are you? When do you finish your theater major? Next semester?
No.
Or the semester after?
probably the semester after, or
Okay. And then what are your 2 minors again? One of them was media, right?
cinematic arts,
Okay.
and then digital media audio.
Okay. That should be fun.
It should be, because, like, they're different.
Yeah. No, I think actually that's really cool because there are 2 different departments and they approach things differently. Now, I've not taken necessarily any cinematic classes except for the Pro Tools intensive, but that is kind of its own beast. But to kind of have those 2 different perspectives. Plus, I think I don't 100% know what they teach with the cinematic thing, but I feel like there's more to it than what we're getting maybe with our video major. I don't know for sure.
Sure.
But I think it's also a different aspect. And you kind of get some of that video aspect with the audio anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool for you.
So for my last 2 gen eds, I'm doing American History 2. And then for my stupid science gen ed,
I'm so glad I don't have to think about that.
I'm doing astronomy.
Online or in person?
Online.
Okay. I hope that goes out decent.
Sure. Like, astronomy, like, looks like the better choice than just biology.
I took freaking biology. Has to have a C somehow. 712 points.
I can never pass with a C in biology. Like,
okay, but here's the deal. For me, the professor, took too much time with, like, some assignments that he basically had to do, like, some things where basically if he didn't do that, I would have passed with a D. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I got lucky.
sure. I don't know anything about astronomy.
How many planets do we have? But even that we don't know because there's a dispute about Pluto.
I mean,
Is Pluto a planet or not? According to you.
I'll take it.
Yeah, me too.
I'll take it as a planet, but
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyway, is there anything else we want to talk about today?
I don't know. Like, I feel like at this point I'd be rehashing things. I asked you about the future with content this year, and you replied pretty pessimistically. So there's not much to ask you about what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, did I tell you about the coffee video I did?
I saw you posted it. Never watched it.
We never talked about it.
Okay. What's there to talk about? Go ahead.
So, I filmed the video with me drinking a different coffee. That's it.
That's all you have to say?
Sure.
Okay.
I enjoyed doing it.
I'm glad you did. How long was the video?
About 30 minutes.
I thought that's how long it was. Because I thought I saw that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I drank different...
You really had fun.
Just drinking coffee.
How long did you stay up that night?
It was different days that I drank the coffee.
Okay, good.
Like, I can't drink all that coffee in one day.
I'm glad you didn't.
Like, I know that much not to do that. I'm not...
Did you say there was Coca-Cola coffee?
There is Coke coffee, yes.
Did you try that in the video?
I tried... Yes.
Now I'll probably watch it just for that.
Watch it. Yes, do it. Just watch it.
Like I have time. I'm not. That's why I'm not even watching the second Spider-Man, because I don't have time.
I also put in the video the timestamps.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Are you happy about it?
I think it's sure. Yeah,
you're accepting it.
I don't hate it.
Okay,
but
that's fair.
Yeah, if it's for your convenience to skip to the coffee section, for the coffee section,
okay,
go and do that.
Okay. I'll consider it. It's just a busy time right now. Because, honestly, if I didn't have school to worry about, I probably would have finished WandaVision by now. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. So, watch my coffee video and just parts of it as a break. Just a nice break to have.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe I'll do a part 2 one day.
Maybe. Is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. worth watching, do you think? I mean, I think I'm going to watch it, but your answer is going to affect how soon I'm going to watch it.
I do think that it has its moments, but it's one of those things where it's like, if they never confirm that it's really part of the universe, it's almost like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I think the first season, despite what other people will say,
because a lot of people seem opposite to you. That people are saying it started gaining its footing after, the first few seasons. That's what people.
Sure, yeah, saying. People will say that. I say the otherwise.
Okay.
Because I still think that the first season was great. The plot twist was amazing. Because I watched the show before I saw The Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
And so the plot twist of Hydra was
gotcha.
What? No, that's amazing.
So did that ruin Winter Soldier for you?
I mean, it spoiled the movie, the plot twist, but no, it didn't ruin the movie for me. It's just, it enhanced my viewing experience of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I will say, in Endgame, when Captain America had to say "Hail Hydra," it kind of made me chuckle.
Yes. And especially when the Jarvis actor, showed up in that movie, it was like, oh my gosh, it's that actor. It's been so long.
Okay, did you cry at the end of Endgame?
No.
Oh my god. Okay. I did.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Even though I knew the ending, I still cried.
Yeah, there's not really much movies that make me cry.
So, throughout the movies, there are moments where I did tear up a little bit, but going into Endgame, I was kind of because since the accident, I feel like I've just kind of built up such an emotional callus, and that's for watching through the Marvel movies, there are very few jump scares for me. You know what I mean? There was only one or two times when it was completely normal and then something ridiculous happened. But this emotional callus I had, it kind of just builds up where I'm just numb. And especially watching through action scenes. And so as a result, when it gets to emotional moments, while the story is impactful, it's hard for me to react physically. And so going into Endgame, I was all right, I want my guard to be down. Not that it's easy to control, because I knew very well there could be a possibility that I could watch the whole thing and not tear up at any point. But I was kind of I wanted to feel open, because I do believe it is important to express emotions. I don't think it's healthy to have it built up. And so, yeah, I had a good sob at the end of Endgame. So, which I'm glad I did.
Okay. Any other final thoughts here?
Probably not.
All right. So that means thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys.
And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.